Both of you, if you would. Just 14 points in the first half, great defensive effort. Seemed like there was a lot of intensity on that end, really from start to finish in that entire first half.
Yeah, I think that our defensive intensity was really well in the first half. And then in the second half, we kind of had a little slippage at the beginning, and then they got a little comfortable and started hitting some shots. But overall, a 20-point win, you can't complain with that.
You said it exactly right.
No, I was going to say, Trayce, we've asked you about him in a few different ways, but Race, what's different about him this season, whether it's the stuff that's showing up statistically, it's the stuff you're seeing in practice, stuff you can even maybe trace back to the spring, to the summer, and I guess as sort of a second question to that, what do you think it sort of how do you think it fortifies you guys in the front court?
I think Race is someone that he brings it every day. He's the glue guy. He's the glue of our team. He holds our team together. And even last year, you saw a few games where he was just on the boards relentless. And I think this year he's just doing more of that. He's just trying to attack the glass and just be a more complete player, honestly. Coach Woodson, at the beginning of the year, he would be shy and not shoot shots. And Coach Woodson was like, you got to do that. You got to be a scorer for us. So I think that he took that to heart, and he's been playing really well ever since.
Coach, question for Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony, when did you find out that you would be starting tonight, and what were your emotions like going into the game?
I think it was Sunday or Monday. I think it was Monday, and I mean, it's a blessing for sure. Obviously, when they first told me, I was in shock, but you know, I just tried to focus on making the most of it and following the scout and making sure that we got off to a good start, that kind of stuff. Staying true to what I do and trusting myself.
Jim.
Anthony was going to answer something very similar, but so when you actually were walking out onto that floor, it had to be special. I know you're focused on the game and you're trying to get prepared, but at the same time, it's your first ever start in Assembly Hall for Indiana, a hometown kid. It's got to be pretty special walking out there.
Very special. I couldn't really stop smiling, and I didn't tell my parents because I wanted it to be a surprise for them. So I had my sister make sure my grandparents and everybody was here just so they could experience it with me. But it was special, and hopefully the first of many.
Kevin and Dustin.
Trayce, you check out at about the 10-minute mark. The team's up about 25-30. What was it like to have to kind of come back in when Faulkner hit those threes to be up 15 and kind of maybe regroup a little bit and get the team back steadied a little bit?
Can't really complain about it. They were just hitting shots, really. That's what Coach Woodson always says. When you come in, you got to be ready to play. And so the second group just had a little slippage there, but at the same time, we could have probably trusted them to finish out the game. I think the game was pretty well in hand, but Coach Woodson doesn't take chances, so he put us back in just to make sure we sealed the deal.
Dustin.
Trayce, wanted to actually go back to his questions about Race. How has he figured out an offensive role? Because obviously he's a little bit less back to the basket than he was a year ago, but he's not necessarily operating as a stretch four. He's not taking a ton of threes. Mm-hmm. How has he figured out a role that works best for him? How is he playing off of you? And just what is his sort of dynamic done for the offense?
I think Race just does a little bit of everything. I think you're right. He's not really 100% a stretch forward, but he can still hit a three if he needs to. But at the same time, I think me and him complement each other very well. We seem to always know where we're going to be on offense, and the double teams come from his guy. I'm able to hit him, and he's vice versa. But I think the biggest thing with both of us is we're unselfish, and we pass out of the post, especially if we're doubled.
Last question.
Trayce, you mentioned how well you guys complement each other, you and Race. How difficult do you think that is for teams to kind of prepare for that dynamic duo kind of dynamic?
I think it's really tough to prepare for it because you never know. You can try to take something away, and then you got to counter another thing. Like you got him, Anthony, Parker, guys like that, Miller shooting threes as well. So it's really just you can't just prepare for both of us and stop both of us because we have so many pieces on our team.